Yuji's room. During my middle school days in America, I got a number of strange nicknames from my classmates, mainly because none of them could be bothered to remember a Japanese name. On the predictable side, there was Jap, and Shorty. My family nicknamed me Kaze, and abbreviated KZ as well. However, among the numerous nicknames, the only one that stuck through the basic training was Gar, short for garbage eater. Oh, that sucks. It's not that I had a reputation for dumpster diving, it was reference to my tolerance for shitty food. As to how I earned it, the story was very simple. The KP made us slop unfit for pigs, and I ate it without grimacing. Freeze-dried scrambled eggs, pork, beans made from scrap of ham. Ew. Bread with peanut butter. Okay, now that's good. And ridiculously stringy mystery meat with Every one of them had a weird chemical aftertaste, and they were all disgusting. Rumor had it the secret sauce was gasoline. As for the chocolate cake we got for dessert, it was more commonly and accurately described as dessert. Cake was originally for being inedible. No matter how starved you were, it would end up stuck to your throat as a dry lump, but I ate it. And all the rest without complaining. Probably because I was living rough from a young age. I've never been what you'd call a picky eater. To put it simply, the cow. Ugh. So even those 3 torturous meals a day didn't inspire any serious complaints from me, but the people around me must have thought I was some sort of freak. And after a while, my nickname became Garbage Eater, then eventually just Gar. Hey Gar, how shitty a cook was your mom? I had a set response to this one. My mom didn't cook much. She was too busy screwing your dad's brains out. As far as my jokes go, I thought it was kind of witty, but that line didn't get many laughs. I guess my delivery was a bit too shoddy. Well then, what should I do for dinner? Don't particularly feel the desire to eat, but if you don't take meals at 3 regular times a day and throws you off your body's clock and leaves you more fatigued. To tell the truth, I view meals as nothing more of an element to maintain my physical condition. Because I'm getting sufficient nourishment, I'm not that caught up on when or what I eat. When I spend any effort considering things like that, all I end up thinking about is how much of a pain in the ass it's going to be to make something. Eventually, the act of eating itself starts to feel like a nuisance. My normal pattern is just to throw something together from my supply and canned and dry food. Well, this is my room. Anna barges in like she owns the place, no longer even bothering to knock. I'm already getting used to it, I guess. Probably because I've experienced a lot of emergency summons that didn't get me that much in the first place. As she speaks, I notice that Amane is holding a plate piled with crab legs in her hands. Yummy. I do recall such an event. I also recall responding if I'm in the mood. Not that I'd definitely be there. Yes, but I said that you'd go ahead if I didn't show up on time. Not really.
れば剥いてあげたであの子。これぞザッツカニパンでしょうとか言いながらパンに挟んで食べるのよ。基本的に物の価値が分かっていないっていうか、挙句には言うにこと書いてかまぼこの方がうめえなって失礼しちゃうわよ。
Probably just means that Magnet places more importance on how easy it is to eat. Honestly, I think I'd go for crab paste over crab myself.
なによ、張り合いのない子たちね。世の中には食べたくても食べられない子がたくさんいるのよ。
That's certainly true. Okay. Do something so I'm not distracted. Okay. That's certainly true.
わかったのなら文句を言わずくなさい。ほら、見てあげるから。
Look, I wasn't really complaining. I can take care of the shell on my own.
っていうか、私が来なかったら何を食べるつもりだったの？ご飯が炊いてあるんだ。
Ah, hey, hands off! Went into my kitchen and examined things as she pleased. After confirming the contents of my messy kit cooker, she opens the door to the fridge and starts taking stock.
食べかけの缶詰の残りと魚肉ソーセージとマヨネーズにレタスとチンゲン菜。こんなのどこで売ってるのよ。っていうか、いつ開けたの？
I opened it at lunch. Get off my back. Why is it that this feels strangely embarrassing? It's not like I have anything troublesome in the fridge. In the first place, where did she get off calling canned radishes this thing? It's well known among canned food connoisseurs and almost decent, pretty much edible. This woman looking down at the brave men and women who had gained courage from canned food throughout the years? As I silently burn with righteous ignition, when brazenly starts running tap water into my rice cooker. What do you think you're doing? I don't care if it's hard. Probably because I'm used to eating canned stuff that it comes out arid and stiff as wax candles. I'm pretty tolerant of tough food. I don't care, but what are you planning? Oh, that sounds so good. I haven't eaten lunch yet, so I'm like super hungry. Well, I suppose pretty much anyone can handle fried rice, especially for a woman. That's somewhat prejudiced assumption is that you'll have basic skills like that. Fact is, out of all the women I met so far, the only one who couldn't make edible fried rice was my master. Still, I can't quite hide a certain anxiety. Not that Amane is paying any attention, humming to herself as she cracks open the eggs. After shaking salt and pepper onto the eggs, she mixes the lightly rinsed rice and then adds a bit of crab meat. Only about a half of what she brought. Finally chopped radishes. She heats a frying pan coated with mayonnaise rather than oil and adds lettuce and spinach that we plundered from my fridge and throws in the rice mixture according to her own timing. Sticking back the ladle into the mix, she vigorously clatters it around the frying pan, messily stirring the frying food. Amanda decides it's done. She uses a bowl. She uses the bowl as a mold from the fried rice into a perfect hemisphere. Tosses it onto the plate. This wouldn't look out of place in a Chinese restaurant. Dressing the leftover crab meat with mustard and mayo, she drops it with a thud of on top of the heat. Blah. She says, but it hasn't even been 10 minutes since Amanda started cooking. The imposing pile of steaming fried rice on my plate looks pretty damn impressive for something cobbled together out of leftovers in such a short time. Not necessary. I got what I need. There's a small coffee table for the one that Sachi dragged out of some storeroom as a stopgap measure. And the frying pan and tableware are things I picked up carelessly at a local 100 yen and hardware store. But since I'm living alone, it's perfectly adequate. No point in getting more dishes when I'm only eating off one. Just means more things to wash. Noticing something as she speaks, Mana returns to the kitchen and starts to rustle through a plastic bag in the corner.
これはゴミ？捨て。
Yeah. I've been throwing my empty oolong tea bottles in that bag. Before I knew it, I had something of a pile, but when I was uncertain about the timing to throw them out.
明日資源ゴミの日だから一緒に出してあげる。
With a well-practiced movement, she peels off the labels and removes the caps, skillfully cuts off plastic rings with the tip of a kitchen knife, and lightly rinses the bottles with tap water. Judging from the smooth motion of her hands, she repeated this often enough to gain the mastery of an assembly line worker. Clearly, she's something of an eco-friendly woman.
じゃあ、私部屋に戻るけど、食べ終わったらちゃんとお皿は洗い置きにつけておいてね。
No, I can take care of that much of myself. Sorry for the hassle.
いいのよ。ちゃんとこういうこともできるって見せておかないと。ただのエッチなお姉さんだと思われちゃうしね。
With a quick goodbye, Amane heads out of the room, not waiting for my impression of the crab fried rice. I had the idea of a busybody woman like her would be more likely to hang over my shoulder pestering me for compliments, but she just popped in all of a sudden, cooked for me in a flash, and then left us quickly. Might be an influence of dealing with that whimsical machina all the time. Let's eat. Hold on. Itadakimasu. Unfortunately, I don't have a Chinese spoon in this room, so I'll have to make do with the standard Western variety. I jab my spoon into the mountain of steaming fried rice and quickly throw some. Not bad at all. Even with some disinterested in the food, I can tell when something tastes good. The salt season feels a bit thin, but this is probably how it should be if you're thinking about a healthy sodium intake. Though it would be insulting to compare this to the crap my master made, it's also different from the stuff that you'd get at a high-priced Chinese restaurant. It tastes like your standard fried rice. What's with this flavor? When I was living alone with my mother as a child, I remember eating fried rice that tasted like this. After finishing her day job, my mother would make dinner for me before her night shift started. In the last week of the month before her paychecks came in, it would often be a pretty plain meal of fried rice. When all she could put on the table was fried rice and a bit of pink fish paste added, she would apologize as I ate. I'm sorry, this is all we got. Unlike the fried rice Amani just made, there was never anything extravagant like crab thrown in. Amani's cooking skills seemed to be better as well. So why is it that they taste similar? What is this slight melancholy coming from? Well, doesn't matter as long as it's good. When I was a kid, anything I ate tasted good. That part of me hasn't changed too much. School dormitory lobby.